top 5 high paid skills in digital marketing and slash social media marketing. Want to know what they are? Stay tuned. Aloha, welcome back. I am Aya and I'm the primary lead instructor here at Social Media Maven Academy.com. I'm going to dive right in because I don't want to waste anyone's time. And so top 5 high paid skills in the digital marketing social media arena. I have my list here and they're not really in any particular order because they're all very important. I'll just speak briefly on each of them because these are things that will just carry you far in life when you have the ability to understand what they are at a deeper level, and specializing in them, or just even knowing a high level overview of each skill will carry you far, because I do believe that we have the space now to be the Jill of all trades, if you will. I know there's been like a lot of pushback on that for quite some time, where it's like, well, you got to pick one thing and stick with it. And it's like, I think that's done a lot of people injustice. Like, you know what I mean? If you think about it, like if you went to college, I know so many people who went to college for a certain degree and they're not even utilizing it anymore. So it's kind of like, who's to say you should only know one thing, unless like it's been like your lifelong dream, it's been in your heart forever. Typically, like we evolve as people and we're accumulating skills, we're learning soft skills, we're growing in our network, we're, you know, embracing life in a different way. You may move across the country, you may move out of the country, you may be moving from another country to the United States. And I'm in the United States, I'm saying that. But there's just so much life to be lived, so much depth. Like we're multi-dimensional. So it's like, I don't ever want to feel like you have to like only be focused on learning one thing and that's it, because that's not really the point of life. So got my soapbox there, as you will come to know. I have my little musings about life, and how it relates to the marketing space, because you're essentially talking to humans and people. And if you can't be relatable and be a human, then what are we doing? So the first skill I will say is, again, I'm not in any particular order, is SEO, which stands for search engine optimization. And that is essentially when someone goes to Google, like we all have done, maybe you did it now to find me. You went in search bar, the search query, you typed something, how to, what is, or did this, or I don't know, Justin Bieber gets married. I don't know, whatever you type in the search bar, a bunch of stuff will populate. And the idea is to be on the first page of Google, which is highly coveted space. There's a bit of a science to it because you learn, well, if you have watched the 4-part complimentary series, it goes into deeper. It goes into that deeper. So go ahead and click the link either in the corner or the description box. I'll let it go ahead and do that after the video. But SEO essentially is really vying for the top spot on Google so you can be found. It's more organic traffic, as they say, so like earned media. So you didn't like actually pay for that. So it's the more in terms of like having like a paid, you know, campaign. SEO is essentially, you know, air quotes free. Nothing's really free because you actually had to put your time and energy, creative capacity, creative mind share, and content skills into getting that coveted top spot within your industry and whatever you do, or the company that you'll be working for, or working with, a team you'll be working with, helping them get more traction in an organic way. And that's pretty much the nuts and bolts of SEO. Second is being a media buyer. So this is kind of a little bit of an opposite of the SEO. This is where your company or yourself will be actually paying actual cash money to be in front of a specific person. So you have a particular product that you're looking to sell or a service, and let's just say you're in the pet industry and you have a new pet product on the market. You want to get your product or service in front of people who own pets. And so instead of doing it organically, which you still could be doing, because I encourage both, you want to be able to augment your organic with your paid. And so essentially what a media buyer does is you would be running the Facebook ads, the Google ads, the YouTube ads, the TikTok ads now, the Pinterest ads. You'd be running and managing the whole gamut of the campaign from start to finish, and focusing on certain things like, you know, ROAS, CTR, click-through rate, CPC, cost per click, PPC, pay per click, things like that. You'll be super like focused in on, because those things will be highly important when you are managing, hundreds of thousands up to millions of dollars of ad budgets sometimes. We want to make sure that we're spending it in the right place. Third is copywriting. And this is really part of where I live, because I started my career off as a copywriter, and I still do offer copywriting services through my agency, Layman Creative. And so, I mean, being a writer really is my first love, being a wordsmith, being a reader, a lover of life, lover of just philosophy and research. So it all comes through and I channel it through like my fingers when I type or write. And copy is really where it's at for me. I love it. It kind of gets overlooked, I think, or it kind of doesn't get enough love sometimes, I think. So, but it's important because, like I said before, like with SEO, writing the content creation, somebody has to write the blog. Someone has to write, the social media caption if it's on Pinterest or Instagram. Someone has to write the ad copy for the paid ads. And that's where the media buyer comes into play. The media buyer may or may not be a copywriter. They may not know how to write, very persuasively, or I would say connection-based content. I don't even like to say persuasion, because that could be like misconstrued as being manipulative, but ultimately everything's about being persuasive, connection, human connection, helping people first and foremost. So there's really no problem with being persuasive, obviously, if you're helping people. There also comes, copywriting is, again, for blogging, because blogging helps you tremendously to rank well with SEO. It's also for product descriptions, like Amazon FBA is really hot right now. Shopify, Etsy, and Etsy's kind of like getting a little heat right now because they increased their seller fees. And I have an Etsy shop, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be renewing. It's a sidebar. Things like that, you'd be surprised. Like, go to people's Shopify shops as an example. Look at their product descriptions. Like, you can tell the ones that were actually like where the person put some thought into it, or you can actually tell where somebody actually hired a professional. You can tell the difference. So I would encourage you to just take like half an hour, maybe up to an hour to research, and just go through some Shopify shops. Just look at some industries that you think you'd want to work in, that you like, and yeah, you'd be surprised. And so that's what I'm saying. Copywriting for me is always going to be at the heart of what I do. And I love, because words are power. Words, communicate, speak through the words that we speak. But if you're not speaking one-to-one, like me, I've been speaking a lot. Like, as you can tell, my voice is thinning out. Which is why copywriting works for me a lot, because I can blog all this. I can transfer this video to a blog, and you can read about it. And I could still be as effective and share this experience with you through the written word. And so copywriting is a super high in demand, high paid skill. Email marketing. Now, I was going to put this under copywriting because it kind of does go into copywriting too, because copywriting is needed for emails, effective email communication. Being able to write an email welcome series, as an example, is a very high skill, because you are taking a person who doesn't know you, but it's entered your universe, your brand universe, I will say, by way of support of a lead magnet. The lead magnet is just essentially a piece of content that was given to an individual that you're looking to connect with, and they got the information or the thing, whatever it was, in exchange for a piece of their information. And typically it's their email. And you open up your email, like your Gmail or whatever, every day or every so often, and you'll sift through, and people can, talk to you through email. And then you may stay on the list if it's engaging. If you don't, you'll opt out. And that's pretty much what it is. A lot of that goes back into copy. But I will say email is a little bit different because it's a specific type of copy. I'm thinking, well, every copy is a specific type of copy, because blogging is different, direct response copy is different, storytelling copy is different. As I say, email marketing is different, social media ads, ad copy is different, social media captions for organic posting is different. So it's all very different. So you really want to be able to hone in on like the specifics of the copy that you need. So email marketing, again, is a very in demand, high income skill because you are essentially, you're in someone's inbox, which is, especially nowadays, is probably the most coveted space that people hold sacred, to their phone number. I know people do text messaging. I don't really do SMS or text message marketing. I do know a really great girl who specializes in it, but for me, it doesn't really resonate with me because it's a little bit intrusive, a little bit too much for me. I've had a lot of conversations with people who just really don't like it. I know there's stats out there that you get higher open rates, of course, but again, I'm always looking to build a long-term relationship. I'm not looking to have a one-night stand. I'm looking to actually build a legacy. I'm actually wanting to like have this relationship go somewhere for the long haul, not just like a quick text message and then it just doesn't feel good. So that's just kind of like my personal bias. Um, and I will say email marketing again is because it's really relationship nurturing and community building, and it's a very special. It takes a very specially skilled individual who understands and appreciates, honors, and respects that. And you're not just looking at numbers in terms of open rates and click-through rates and like, oh, how many sales did we get? Like, yes, that's part of it, but that's only a byproduct if you've made the investment first in actually building a relationship. And if you know the people that you want to reach and you're helping them, they opted in on your list, they've got some piece of valuable content, that really should be, it's kind of like, well, I'll say a lot of the heavy lifting has been done because you've got the information, but you still want to maintain that relationship over time. You don't want to be, quick, fast, and hurry. As I'm saying, like this type of copy or this skill set is very much in the community building and like a human connection and nurturing. And the fifth one is brand storytelling. And this is like really where like my heart lies too because it kind of goes hand in hand with copy. But I'm also a filmmaker, so showing versus telling is really where I've been most these days. And of course, like showing and writing is kind of similar, in a sense. But I really fallen in love with actually being able to piece together the visuals, the aesthetics of a brand and their story. And so brand storytelling is a lucrative and in demand and highly paid skill set because you are essentially capturing the very essence and the fabric of what this brand stands for, who they are. It makes me think about the song I was listening to the other day with Coldplay, where it's like who I'm not, who I am, and who I want to be. Like that's like brand storytelling. Like essentially every brand has a who I am, who we're not, and who we aspire to be. But the key caveat here is ensuring that the brand is not making one of the most, I don't know, like let's say was it seven deadly sins. Don't make the brand the hero. Your audience members, the humans you're connecting with and helping and serving, they're the hero. The brand, me, I'm the brand. I'm the guide. So it's a very, intricate, delicate space to be in. And if it's done right, you can really, really, really soar. And for the long term, not just like a trend. Like you can be here, longevity. Like you look at brands like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Chanel. I mean, powerhouse brands that are just timeless, like Tiffany's, like timeless brands that are going to be here probably long after we're not here anymore. So that's really the goal of brand storytelling, and that's why it's so important, and that's why it's so in demand. But if any of this caught your attention and you are looking to learn one of these or all of them, dive in deeper, I put together a 4-part complimentary series for you to watch. Go ahead and click the link on the little square circle thingy in the corner here, or it's also linked in the description box below. It'll take you straight away over to be able to view that. And I will see you all very, very soon.